Hello, this is Top Football Channel. We are glad to see you here. Football itself has long omitted the point of being just a game. Nowadays, any top footballer is bathed in lavishness. But it turns out not for the best in most cases. This is what we will tell you about today.
You noblest England.
Get ready! 7 stories await you about those who used the number one game to show off and pull off as much as possible in their daily lives. A quick note, before kicking off a new episode, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. And now, we are about to start. Remember this guy? Defensive midfielder Sulley Muntari was born and raised in poor Ghana and has always fought for a better life. He was always exceptional in local teams, and over time he was signed by the Italian Udinese, where he became famous at the top level. Soon he was relocated to Jose Mourinho's Inter, but the huge contract that the Nerazzurri offered him calmed Muntari in some way. The player began to think too much about expensive cars and even bought himself a camouflage Lamborghini and a 6-wheeled Mercedes for $1.3 million. Sulley also stopped controlling his behaviour on the pitch, often getting into brawls and even confronted David Beckham. Subsequently, at the age of 29, Muntari left to finish his career in Saudi Arabia, and then returned to Italy and Spain, where he couldn't gain a foothold. And now, he doesn't have a club at all. Not to say that the Ghanaian could become a great football player, but still it was the craving for expensive dross that negatively influenced his success. Memphis Depay's career in the top European championships is not unambiguous. In the 2014-15 season, the Dutchman fired at PSV and became not only the top scorer in the Eredivisie with 22 goals, but also the best young footballer in the world according to France Football. But then the transfer to Manchester United turned the guy's head around. Depay began to distract himself from football and switched to parties, fashionable clothes and Instagram. Despite his great talent, Memphis flopped at Old Trafford and was sold to Lyon. Although, we have to admit that the striker has nicely improved in France. Depay is deservedly considered the leader of Lyon, because he scores and assists a lot and is regularly called up to the national team. By the way, Barcelona really wanted to sign him last summer, but the deal didn't occur. Moreover, the Dutchman found himself another hobby: rap. Depay regularly writes tracks, records clips on them, and continues to show off various trinkets on social networks. Nevertheless, the guy still has a chance to play again in the top club, until the show-off acts finally ruin him. The stories of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Memphis Depay are quite similar, but they have one difference: a Gabonese never fails. Aubameyang loves luxury, expensive cars, jewellery, brand new costumes and many more things to wear. But at the same time, he never forgets about playing on the pitch. He has 41 goals and 25 assists in 97 appearances for Saint-Etienne, 141 goals in 213 games for Borussia Dortmund, and 74 goals in 120 appearances for Arsenal. That's what we call an impressive performance. In addition, Aubameyang was named the Bundesliga top scorer in 2015-16 and won the Premier League Golden Boot in 2018-19. It seems that the attacker has nothing to be regretful about. But nevertheless, if he focused on football 100%, he could wait for a transfer to Real Madrid or Catalan Barcelona as well. Djibril Cissé was a man of great talent. He had a great start to his career in the French Auxerre. People even thought of that guy becoming the new Thierry Henry. but serious injuries prevented such a scenario. Cisse broke his leg twice and remained without game practice for a long time. All these renovations affected Gibro not in the way we expected. He began to spend his time and money on shopping, cars, and various expensive knickknacks. There were once 15 cars in the Cisse fleet at the same time. I had up to 15 cars at the same time. I myself don't understand why it was necessary, but you don't think about it in your youth, the footballer said. Well, Cisse no longer thought about a player's career either. Throughout such, he managed to star in the movie Taxi, bought an estate and the title of English Lord, and even appointed himself as a DJ. In brief, the player excelled everywhere, but not in football. After leaving Auxerre, he changed 10 more clubs in 11 years, but never played at the same level anywhere else. The new Henri turned out to be just a spoiled guy who never met the expectations of the fans. Wow, we have a lot of African players today. The top 3 is opened by Emmanuel Adebayor, whose Instagram is simply filled with images of expensive bags, accessories, and cars that any rapper would envy. Adebayor was born into a poor family in Togo. He had various health problems, but he was a brave young man who decided to try himself as a football player. He started in Metz, France, then played in Monaco, and then went for promotion to the Premier League and played there for Arsenal, Manchester City, Tottenham and Crystal Palace. Geez, Emmanuel has even been to Real Madrid. At a certain time, Adebayor was considered one of the best centre-forwards on the planet, which led to changes in the character of the player. He first dropped out of Arsenal for a great contract with their rivals in Manchester City, and while facing the former club, he scored a goal and cheekily celebrated it in front of the Gunners' fans. He immediately received a yellow card and turned into one of the most hated players in the Premier League. After that situation took place, Adebayor has never even played at the same high level as in Arsenal. To be fair, his top-level career ended at age 25. However, on Instagram, everything is still bright and cool. Former Liverpool striker El Hadji Diouf is usually called the founder of show-off in football. The Senegalese spent most of his career in the English Premier League, but he is remembered not so much for his game as for expensive cars and ridiculous outfits. It's no coincidence that Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard disliked Diouf. The outrageous African irritated the serious Englishman. Unfortunately, this guy loves himself in football, and not vice versa, Stephen thought. El Hadj really paid too much attention to his appearance. He also loved to cover his cars with gold and silver. As a result, Liverpool said goodbye to the arrogant Diouf. The Senegalese had to be content with just playing for Bolton, Sunderland, Blackburn, Rangers, and so on. Better to pick up gold trophies rather than sports cars, right? A long-awaited moment. The first place on our list goes to Paul Pogba, the king of show-off football players. With fantastic playing potential, the French midfielder obviously positions himself as an Instagram model, not a footballer. Instead of a bunch of goals, assists and trophies that Manchester United fans expect from him, Paul gives the public only photos of his new hairstyles. Oh my god, he does it too often. For several years, Old Trafford has been waiting for Pogba to appear as the new leader of the Red Devils, who would return the club to Premier League titles and the glory days. Instead, the midfielder prefers to purchase expensive clothes, advertising contracts and other items. Besides, in the French team, Pogba becomes a completely different person. At the 2018 World Championships in Russia, Paul didn't have his hair cut for a month. He didn't want to be distracted by extraneous factors in order to fully focus on winning the tournament and set a leadership example for his teammates. And what can we say? He succeeded. France won the World Championship, and even the critics appreciated Pogba's influence and general efforts. Why can't he do the same in the Premier League? This is a big mystery. Paul is considered one of the best midfielders of his generation, but every year his performance seems less and less impressive. We hope that the Frenchman will still pull himself together and show the whole world what he is worth. Friends, what other players are missing from our list? Share your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching. See you in the new videos. Bye bye.